Okay, well, welcome to our stag tasting, which is also uh,
I'm good. Water's fine.
officially officially our my 40th birthday tasting with everyone. So, cheers, everyone! Thank you for joining me for a little B-day fun. I'm officially old now, in the 40s, or maybe over the hill. I don't know about old, but don't be offended if I offended anyone. But 40 as of yesterday. And then so I kind of kept this one a little bit secret. Not really. Obviously, I had to release the details once we released the tasting, unless I wanted to do this blind. But for those of you that know me, know most people think of me as a Scotch guy, which is true. Do love Scotch, and but I've always loved Stag bourbon. That's kind of always been my thing. I have a lot of Stag here. When everyone was drinking Wellers, I was always looking for Stag. So you're welcome, Raj. Um, so I thought it'd be really cool to get into some picks and GTS as well, and go try those. And so obviously you guys know Buffalo Trace is from Buffalo, or sorry, Stag is from Buffalo Trace. It's part of their batch, their recipe one. I think it's batch one recipe. So. Um, and that's always been my favorite for whatever reason. Stag Junior. I've always liked the Stag Juniors more than I've actually liked the GTSs, to be honest, because I like the slap in the face you get from the Stags. And that's always been a treat for me. I don't know. My palate has always needed that extra punch over uh, to get me going, I guess. I don't know. So without further ado, let's jump in here. Let's go. Oh, I got to pull the bottles around. So for those of you, apparently I missed Jason, and I don't think I missed anyone else. I was pretty hardcore about um, getting the um, that little sample for everyone. So I thought I had everyone. But what you have in there, or actually, before I reveal what it is, so I want everyone to pour that into your Glencairn. And what we're gonna do a little experiment. Also get that baggie ready. All of you should have had a baggie in your sets. And so we're gonna start this off with a little experiment. It's kind of something I've always wanted to do. I just, for whatever reason, we've never done it before, and I haven't had always the time. It does take a little bit of time to put these paired tastings together, but we are going to try the Stag Neat first. So don't drink the whole thing on this first sample. But I want you guys to nose this. I want you to taste it, see what notes you get, and then we're gonna take the bag. Actually, you can take the baggie and you can put it into a glass, your secondary Glencairn. So that's what we're gonna use that secondary Glencairn for. So go ahead, pour into your Glencairn. And this one, you can probably just kill your full sample if you want to.
Wait, sorry, what are we doing?
So the small brown sample, the surprise sample that has no, um, it should not have a sticker on it.
And we're gonna put,
So put that into a secondary Glencairn, not in the same Glencairn.
oh, I see. Okay, I got you.
So go ahead, get an initial taste off that first sample, nose it. And then what I want you to do with the other Glencairn, where you've put your little baggie into, I also want you to nose that. And so for me, these are kind of the notes I get out of Stag in general. Um, because we're only doing one distillery today, or one type from one distillery, we can kind of do this a little bit better. I didn't add any vanilla to this because it was really overpowering. So vanilla is another note I get that I don't that's kind of missing from this. But outside of that, this is what I get. You can see the makeup of what's here. So I'll tell you. So there's little shaved almonds, a small piece of walnut in here. I find this one a little bit nutty. There's cherries, some dried berries in here. There's some brown sugar, a little bit of chocolate, some cinnamon, and a clove. And so these are kind of the notes that I get out of Stagg. It's things I love, really nice. And now is it an exact match? Always no. But in general, these
Close.
are kind of these are the things I get out of this, and I find them enjoyable. And you'll find some of these notes in bourbon, but what I love about Stagg is just how much it punches, and you kind of get these notes really at the forefront.
I think I guess I get more chocolate in the baggie than I'm getting on the sample, but that's surprising.
And so, secondarily, what we're going to do is you're going to take, so after you've nosed this a couple times, understand what's in your glass. Jason, do you have a baggie at least? Oh well, no, we'll go on.
Is this
So
a regular baggie? Just a plain old Ziploc baggie?
it's a small little bag. It should be in one of your bags.
Yeah, it was just a tiny little bag with a bunch of stuff in it.
Uh-uh. Okay, now that's why I was confused. I don't have it.
Are you sure? You should double check your box.
Well, oh, there it is.
Jason just missed his little sample bottle the same way.
I saw it in there and I was like, originally I'm from Southern Cali and I was like, the heck is this dime bag for? And I was like, yeah.
No, the sample, Jason. Jesus.
Same difference.
And so he smoked it.
That's a big dime bag.
Yeah,
So-
someone else, I won't name names, told me it smelled like weed. I was like, that should not smell like, I don't smoke. I've never smoked, but that should not smell like weed to you.
Are we now supposed to pour the bourbon into the mix of stuff from the baggie?
No. Please do not do
Oh,
that.
come on. That's what I thought the next step was.
Hey, no. So after you smell this, nose this a few times, nose
It's
your
the
bourbon.
clove.
What I'm going to ask you to do is, so there's a piece of cinnamon and a piece of clove. Take that out of take that out of the glass, because I promise I actually did this with. I've always taken the cinnamon out, but I tried eating this with the clove once and it was disgusting. So don't do that. But take those two out. And so now these are things we get. I want you to understand complementary flavors to your whiskey, right? And so we can take this and now you can eat everything in your glass. These should complement the whiskey that you have.
Is the clove the big black thing?
Well, it's not you, Benno, then yeah. No, there's a cinnamon, and yeah, there's a little thing here that looks like this. It's a clove.
I feel there was a pun in there.
And now, go ahead, taste the whiskey that you have. How does that change? Is it different? Is it more enjoyable? Less enjoyable? What do we think?
There's a lot of people that are muted.
Yeah, they usually need two or three drams before they start waking up.
Well, I just know I'm probably not going to like it because whenever I eat anything that's sweet, whenever they talk about whiskey pairing with food or other stuff, and like they did one of these at $7,000, I'm like, they were pairing whiskey with chocolate. And I'm like, okay, guys, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to eat the chocolate. The chocolate is going to be sweet on my palate. Then I'm going to drink the whiskey, and the whiskey is going to taste less sweet because I've eaten something sweet now, and I don't like that. I like the whiskey to be sweeter. So I already know that I'm going to, dislike pairing what similar flavors are. I would want food that's like complementary. rather than similar, but that's just me. So that's what I would say.
I think the date or not the date. What the fuck are those things called? Figs. I liked the fig with it. I didn't like the cranberry with it. Cranberry made it kind of acrid to me, but it was really nice with the fig.
So it's a cherry that's in there. It's a dried cherry note.
Oh, it's cherry?
Mhm.
Oh. Okay, well, I didn't like it with the cherry.
Oh, I didn't put the coffee in there. So yeah, there's a coffee bean in there too. Which for me,
Yeah, I can definitely smell the coffee bean for sure. It's very aromatic.
so I should say you're supposed to eat all of these at the same time together, not individually. So, if I didn't make that clear, I apologize.
Eat it. Yeah, you said to eat it all at the same time.
Yeah,
No, you just said eat all of it. You didn't say eat all of it at the same time.
same time.
Okay, trying that now.
It was good. I liked it. I think it complemented it pretty well. I didn't get coffee though. I don't think there was a coffee bean in mine.
Oh, come on. I wouldn't. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. We're on.
Yeah.
We're on
Yeah, I was saying I'm missing the sample.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume that it's going from low proof to high proof.
Low-ish proof. I wouldn't say low proof. There's nothing low proof in there. So-
Yeah, lowish proof to highish proof.
So what this is, oh man. Okay, so what this is here. So this used to be a pick. This used to be an old Stearns pick. I know at least Bino was at the birthday last year, had what was in here originally. But this is actually a blend of different stags that I had. I've always wanted to make a stag blend for whatever reason. So I blended this all together. This is 140 milliliters of 22B, 400 milliliters of 23B, 100 milliliters of batch 18, and 200 milliliters of Stearns liquor pick. And so Stearns is out of Long Beach, and we have them in the add-ons. So you'll see them. I think this comes in around 62.5%, if I remember correctly, maybe 63, somewhere in there when we do the ABV cut up.
Sorry, but I'm old school. So these are all Stagg Juniors, or what were Stagg Juniors.
Yes, there's no
GTS.
There's no GTS in that blend. Correct. And so it's not an official stag, but it's a blend. I thought it was really fun. Honestly, I just threw this one in. I didn't add any cost to our tasting because of this. I just thought it would be a really fun experiment to do. We've never really done that here on execs, and so I thought it'd be cool to do that. You guys tell me, give me the feedback, but
It'd be nice.
hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, well, Jason, you'll know. Um,
You wouldn't like it, Jason.
And I put the lineup in the chat. If you joined later, just let me know and I'll send it back to you. But you should all have that in there. We're gonna start with 23C. So everything in this lineup is over 60%. That's the reason I only really did 5 true samples and a 6th smaller sample. I don't want you guys to completely blow your palates on this.
3C, okay.
But for me, Stag is always, I always get chocolate notes. I get slight coffee notes. Cherry tends to be the big note I get on Stag Junior. Those are things that I really enjoy in bourbon. You find those on everything, on most things in bourbon, but I just love how accentuated they are in Stag. So you may find that here, but feel free. Let's nose, let's taste.
On the nose, you definitely get cherry and chocolate on there. And yeah, a little ethanol on there on the nose too. Mm.
That will happen from time to time on Stagg for sure. Especially if it's a less refined pit or not pick, but a less refined Stagg there. It's alcohol forward for sure.
mean, by design.
Yeah. But this one's like big cherry for me. Hmm. And you know what? I did not check if anyone. Invariably, someone messaged me like 5 minutes after the tasting starts, telling me they don't have the Zoom details. So I'm just checking real quick.
I definitely get what's nice. It's not a heavy cherry. I definitely get some cherry on here. A very small hint of clove
Mm.
on the palate. I like that the ethanol goes away real quickly.
Yeah, I would say interestingly, the nose on this isn't very forward, right? It's not like smacking me in the face. I definitely would not get 63% off the nose, I don't think.
Mm.
On the nose, yeah, no, but on the palate, definitely at first, but then it goes away gently.
Hmm.
Mm.
Which may be to Beth's point. Beth says it's the finish is a bit short given the ABV. That won't be an issue for a lot of these, I can promise. So
What's crazy though, at the very end, I get a very kind of not exactly, but similar to a French oak where it finishes a little dry,
Yeah,
like dry at the end.
a little tanniny.
yeah, yep, I get that for sure.
Like it's so dry to where like it like keeps your makes your like tongue raw a little bit. Mm.
Pretty good though. So what is 23C? Well, that's
So
just a batch of junior.
that was 2023's batch three for Stagg. Although they've the weird thing is they've had multiple batches of a batch, which doesn't make sense to me. But I believe it was 24B had two separate releases, if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, they were starting to number their after batch. Was it 18? I think it was 18, 19. They started numbering their batches so that you could follow along. Because if you guys go search Stagg, I'm sure the first thing you'll find is a Stagg release listing and what the ABV is and what batch number it is. You can go in and find it, find that information pretty much anywhere. Quite a few people have it up, but
I don't know if anybody else gets it, but I get a little bit of a. I'm starting to get some dry apricot.
hmm.
Mm.
And when they say,
Batch 17 was the last junior moniker. Oh, batch 17 was the last junior moniker. Was it 20? It was 22 then. Sorry. It was 2022 when they started um, releasing batch numbers, I think.
and so when they say, like, this one is 23C, so 2022 they started in batches. This is the third batch. Like, do we know if a batch is then just a blend of a whole bunch of barrels?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not a single barrel.
And then another batch that year would be a different bunch of barrels blended together.
Correct. Yes.
So if they did two releases of the same batch, then they just didn't put them all out at once. Like most
Sorry,
likely.
say that last part again. I missed that.
If they did, you said that sometimes they do 2 releases of the same batch, then they just didn't release them all at once. They just saved some and probably just put them out for sale later.
Yeah, that one I need clarification from Buffalo Trace on. Because that one I didn't understand. They had two, because the ABVs were different. So I'm assuming they're from the same barrels, and maybe, and you're probably right. They probably bottled some immediate, like, at one point, and then a few days later bottled the rest. But they were a different ABV, so that kind of threw, like, they were like 0.1 or 0.2 off.
Interesting.
So I thought
Okay.
that was weird, because you normally don't see that. When you see the batches, that just means, um, like who does it? Elijah Craig, or is it Larceny? No, Elijah Craig with their barrel proofs, they do the same thing. So the ABC system.
Hey, Nando, you
Yes.
threw some chocolate in there. Is there something we're supposed to pair with each one, or is it
No,
of
so yeah, you're correct. I threw some chocolates in there for you guys. I always love pairing Stagg. So in general, I love pairing whiskey with Haribo gummy bears, which if you've been on a tasting of mine before, you probably already know that. But for Stagg, I actually really love pairing with chocolate. Bino doesn't, but dark chocolates for me is the way to go with Stagg. I just threw those in for you guys to have. You can drink them
Banana chips,
whenever you want.
much better. Savory, salty, pairs much better.
Whatever.
You know, I gave my wife all those chocolate little freaking delights, and she was like, "Who sent this to you?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Nando." And she was like, "Yeah, keep getting stuff from him." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's the one that's more expensive."
I love it.
I am not a
It
She,
pairs.
she was like, "Godiva chocolate," and I'm like, "Hey."
Well, I made buffalo jerky the other day, and it's pairing really nice with the buffalo jerky.
Ooh, I love buffalo.
There you go.
Buffalo burger, buffalo jerky. Heck yeah. Elk too. Elk is really good.
Elk is awesome.
All right. Did we like the 23C a little bit?
Yeah, that was not bad. That was not bad. Very nice.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. It's definitely drinkable.
That was a backhanded compliment. I would give it a, yeah, it's drinkable. I wouldn't turn it down. Maybe a 6.
Sorry, by
Don't,
drinkable,
don't introduce the rookies to that.
by drinkable, I mean it's some of the juniors are definitely more alcohol forward burny, and this one isn't. Both, I think we noticed that on the nose and on the palate. And so that's actually a compliment, I think, when you're talking about Stagg Juniors, Stags, because otherwise the alcohol kind of just overwhelms you. And it's nice that it doesn't in this, and you can actually taste the flavors. So that's actually a full compliment in this case.
I would say batches 12 through 18 were all really solid, very good. We don't have one of those in this tasting particularly, but 12 through 18 were all really good, very drinkable, very much what I like in Stagg. The batches prior to that were, especially like the early batches, were really ethanol forward. Like, I honestly, I haven't had one from prior to 10 or below that I really liked. Or I should say not liked. Like, it was drinkable, but like not in love. I wasn't in love with any of them, and I wouldn't chase the price point that they go for, which is those ones I think are batch 8 and prior are all 400 and above these days. At least from what I've seen. Someone can correct me on that, but that's what I've seen them go for. So so I'm not going to pay that price point for those, no matter how much I love Stagg. So, all right, number 2, the lowest ABV of our store picks is actually going to be Roco Wine and Spirits. So this is coming in at 65.3%. This is Ro's brand new 2025 pick. He just released early February, either late January or early February. I think it was early February. Um, so here we go. Let's try this.
Wait, hold on. I got the lowest one that I have on my lineup is Beverage Warehouse Pick.
Yeah, but that's an add-on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those two don't count.
If it says on the top right of your sample AO, that means add-on.
Negative. Man, you just screwed up my entire pick.
Yeah, mine
My
doesn't
lineup.
actually go either, Nando, for what it's worth.
Oh, then maybe I missed it on this run. My bad.
You must have been drinking on that. My
I might have
lineup.
been. I might have been. It's been a heavy month for sure.
Why do
Okay.
I have a
Roco-
feeling this tasting is going to be like old Carter, and I'm going to get like a video from you, Nando, and like another couple hours of walking, God knows where in California to a
No,
bar.
Oh,
no,
those
no,
were good.
absolutely not again.
What's this? What happened? I must have missed it.
We did a old, for those, I don't know if anyone else was on that old Carter tasting. We did a tasting with the Carters when they were together, 4 years, I think it was 3 years ago. And we like their lineups all 50+%, it was big. Anyways, we were on for a while. I really enjoyed the old Carter tasting. I decided to walk across the street, which back then I lived on a pretty busy street, and walked across to the liquor store. And they happened to have an old Carter rye for 300, and I was like, "I'll give you 250." And they're like, "All right, we'll take it." And then I ended up at a bar later on that night. But these days I stay home.
Those
And
were
we
your
don't go
young
on for 4 hours
40 days.
anymore. So
Those were your pre-40 days now. Now you're just
Yeah,
gonna stay at home back in a shawl in front of the fireplace, right?
that was a while ago.
So this is the Roco Wine and Spirits 65.3.
Correct. Yes.
All right, all right.
I don't know. I saw a snicker from Andy when you said I stay home now.
I do. All right. I didn't say I don't go out. After tastings, I stay in.
On occasion. Okay, there we go. I like this one much better than the first one.
Ooh.
Much better.
Ooh, it's nice on the nose so far. Ooh, yeah.
This is pretty.
Palate on that's totally different.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, I
all
like
the
it.
picks are single barrels. So before you guys ask, these are all single barrels of Stagg Junior heading forward, except for the GTS. The GTS is still a blend. But everything, oh my God, I just found it. Fudge.
Oh yeah, this is
Oh, is that Jason's baggie?
No, it's mine. So I made one for myself, and I was like, where did I put it? So I had to go make myself. I'm gonna just do this all over again for me.
now
The coffee bean is the other one.
is semi-ethanol heavy. Semi, like not the very first one was way more heavier on the ethanol, but this one it is so mellow on the ethanol that you're just like, okay, this was
I don't get any ethanol on this, to be honest.
this was you do at the very first punch, but then it goes right away. It goes quicker than the first one.
It's very faint.
Yeah.
Even it's like smoother than the first one, if that's possible.
And this one is even on my glass, like the legs on this, the oils. Oh my God, it's even better than the first one.
Well, good. Keep notes because we're gonna pick a winner tonight. So everyone that is in this, I will say everyone that has a bottle in this lineup, except for Beverage Warehouse, they're all people I do a lot of business with, people I really enjoy in this business, and people that have been good to the club. So we're drinking these.
This one's
Also
really good.
because I trust their palates.
I'm going on mute. My wife is coming in and her friend. I gotta go mute for a second.
All right, sir. Cheers. But they all want to know who was the favorite of the night. So we're gonna tell them at the end of the night. We're gonna rank them, and I'll let them know tomorrow. So, all right, I'm gonna redo this.
Is there a jazz pick in here, Nando?
So there was supposed to be,
Okay.
one of our members was going to donate the Stagg cruise. Or when I say donate, I was gonna have to pay it, but like they were gonna give us the bottle to sample out to the group as an add-on. Um, the price point was higher, but we were gonna have one, and then we just ended up not being able to meet up in time where I could get these out to you guys on time and get the pictures out and get the tasting out. So I ended up passing. But Jazz has done a few Stagg picks over the years. His Stagg picks, for whatever reason, they're very expensive. And I'm not saying anything against that. He doesn't necessarily release them, but when to try and get one is really hard. Usually that goes to his whiskey club members, which is there's nothing wrong with that. But then they hit secondary for like $400, and I didn't think that was fair to anyone here. So we were going to get a little less than that, but it was still going to be pricey.
What's the MSRP for these normally again?
But MSRP in theory is supposed to be around $80.
Really?
I've never seen one sold for that, but in theory.
Huh. Yeah, neither have I.
So this one works with raspberry, Haribo gummy bears, does not work with chocolate.
Fair enough. See, Haribo gummy bears go with everything.
I found I have like a quart of a bag that I've had for like 4 months, but they're actually still okay. So
If I could just have pineapple Haribo gummy bears to pair with whiskey for the rest of my life, I'd be totally fine.
do they still make those?
Absolutely.
Do they still do the bags of all pineapple?
You gotta go searching for it. Amazon, you can find them on Amazon. They're not cheap. They're pretty expensive, actually.
Weirdo.
Yeah, you can find them. And I for whatever, like it goes with bourbon for me. It goes with Scotch. It goes with Irish. It goes with everything for me. I love it.
I
The
think
only thing I will say, it doesn't work for most Japanese whiskeys, because Japanese whiskeys are too delicate, and then it's just overpowering, and you don't get any of the subtleties in Japanese whiskey, I feel like. So
Haven't tried it, but that makes sense actually. Nothing really.
it's hard to pair
Yeah,
Japanese whiskey, to be honest. But
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, Japanese whiskey doesn't go with anything but Japanese whiskey.
Kyle, that is a hell of a deal right there. I don't think I haven't gotten a
What?
Yeah, as I told Nando before, like the Smart and Final down the street from me is in Yorba Linda, the guy who does all the ordering for the region over here, or the whatever you can call it for Smart and Final. He lives in the area, so he orders to Yorba Linda so he can get the good stuff down the street from him and not have a long drive. So they have Weller, they'll have Eagle Rare, they'll have different EH Taylors. I'll be EH Taylor single barrel. The single barrel was $80. The Blanton's Gold, I think, was $130. Weller, I think, was 39 or 29, and an Eagle Rare was 39 or 49. I think it was 29 and 39 actually. So it is kind of nuts and crazy. 60 was like holy hell. So I jumped in my damn car, left the meeting, and went and bought a couple of them myself. So yeah,
Couple.
good.
You buy them all? You should have bought them all.
that's all that was left. Yeah. I was lucky my brother-in-law didn't actually buy the rest. He said, "Hey, they have Stagg here for $60 if you want it." So I was like, "I'm leaving right now."
Nice. That's insane. Yeah, prices like none. I said I've only seen it for like $250 minimum.
Wow. Yeah.
I would say 2016, 2017 is maybe the last time I've seen Staggs for that price. And that was when I was like just getting into Staggs. So, because I used to have a rule, I would not pay more than $80 for a Stagg. And now I laugh at myself for how funny that is.
Oh,
It
yeah.
slowly crept up to 100. Now it's like 120. I'll pay. Oh my God.
Got to help the old man out, Andy. I can hear his bones creaking from here.
Oh, yeah. So I took my son to Universal Studios yesterday, and we got like 25,000 steps in. A big shout out to David Chu, who's in here. Thank you so much for the parking tip and help. Appreciate it. Owe you a sample for that one for sure. Yeah, my hips are all effed, and I am still like motion sick from the rides yesterday.
Mm.
The FYI, if you are old like me and you get motion sickness real bad, do not go on that Simpsons ride. That is the worst thing of all time. I think that's what I'm still sick from.
Does
Completely.
that one have a screen?
Yeah.
Or-
It's awful.
okay, because in Orlando, there was a Harry Potter ride. We bought out the park like 10 years ago when I was with Citrix, and that was one of those things with a screen. I remember, I swear to God, more than half the people that went on that thing puked. Like, I am not kidding. There was like a stream of coworkers coming out of there, half of them just like puking on the side or something like that. It was that bad.
Yeah, so I'm actually really glad I could not get on the Harry Potter ride. The Harry Potter ride here, not made for big backs. So you had to get 3 clicks. I could only get 2. I was like, all right, well, I got wide shoulders and I lift a lot. I don't know what you want me to tell you. So
Time to do GTS now.
yeah, we might as well. Where are we at right now? Is everyone pretty much on Roco's the favorite right now? Or is anyone liking the 23C?
Roland liked the 23C better, I think, right?
I did.
Why?
Okay, nice.
Just more flavor
More flavor.
to me.
Fair enough.
I think this is your first bourbon.
This is my first bourbon.
First bourbon, first virtual tasting, first everything.
Man, that's like learning how to snowboard in Mammoth. That is great.
We got a virgin up in here. Very nice.
Well, he said he learned how to snowboard in Mammoth, so I guess this is par for the course for him.
Perfect. So did I actually. So
Wait,
that's why I
which
made
one?
that reference. I didn't know how spoiled I was. All right.
Oh, wait, Nando, darling, I've known you forever. If you, one more time, having turned 40 yesterday, say how old you are again, I'm going to smack you really hard the next time I see you. You are not old.
I
Shut
just
the
feel
fuck up.
old because I've played sports for 35 years. And so my body is just breaking down quickly, but that's okay. We're going to move on to GTS, George T. Stagg.
Being 50.
Yeah. One of these days, Chris. Also, Chris, good job on winning 2 Staggs. One of those was for me. Although you had to pay to play, so
I haven't opened that one yet.
that's all right. That's the 23C, I believe, right?
I forget. The other one I won was a 23B.
There you go. So I wanted to do the GTS early-ish in this lineup. It is a bigger ABV, 67.5. So I believe we're going to be moving back a couple of points on the next one. But, you know, how often do we get to
2023? Woo.
Yeah, it's a big boy for sure.
So this is the one token Big Daddy in the tasting?
Yeah, we don't have another GTS, but this is the one. So we cracked this, and you can see I don't have a lot of this left. This tasting went pretty quickly. So,
Yeah, well, I'm only cracking half of it, so
That's good.
but I love these GTSs. It's always awesome to get to try these when you get a chance.
So what's the difference between the GTS and the Stagg Juniors,
Yeah,
which
so
are no
this-
longer Stagg Juniors?
Yeah,
Ooh.
so it's normally age and taste. I'll say so this one's 15 years. Normally Stags are between 6 to 8. They can be a little younger, sometimes slightly older. They're usually not much older than that. But this one's a 15-year. Usually what you're going to notice on these, they're going to be a little bit more tannic, because they're a little older, but also they are a little bit more refined. So they're easier to drink on your palate, a little bit nicer, easier to take down, even at the higher proofs. And I've always liked GTS, but it doesn't punch in the same way as the Stagg Juniors have for me. And so that's why I've normally liked the Stagg Juniors better. The exception is this year's 2024 is a phenomenal whiskey. In my opinion, if you get a chance to either try it or get a bottle, you should. I think it's awesome. It kind of blew my mind. I think it's heads and tails above everything else in the BTAC lineup.
What's the ABV on 2024? I haven't even looked because it's impossible to get.
I honestly, I don't even remember.
Yeah, the other thing too, Beth, is that the way it kind of worked is, the George T. Stagg is part of, Buffalo Trace Santee Collection. There's 5 bottles they release every year. And the cynical opinion is they were like, we're leaving money on the table, right? So we need to release more Stagg with the name. That's why they came out with Stagg Junior, younger. And so it was initially, I remember when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is just lesser quality stuff they're trying to pass off for the people who can't get the BTAC equivalent, right? But maybe it's gotten better over time.
118. Or sorry, 118. It's 136.1 proof. So 68.
Okay.
68.05.
There's more on the nose, I think.
This is amazing on the nose.
Okay, great.
Oh, gosh dang.
Yeah, and the 2023 GTS, for whatever reason, didn't get a lot of love, but I really liked it. The year before it also, people kind of hated on a little bit because it was a lower proof, but I liked both. Well, I should say 2023 seemed to be, some people really liked it and some people just didn't. I count me in the light camp. I really enjoy this. It's always fun. One, it's always fun to be able to try a BTAC whenever you can. Secondarily, love trying me some GTS. So
this is good.
This is wow.
Closer to a whiskey.
And you
I get
is better than this one, Nando?
Huh?
You say the 2024 is better than this?
Yes. For me.
I don't know, but this is pretty darn good. Gosh dang.
For me, I was just saying the 2024 just kind of blew my mind. I did it against all the other BTACs except for WLW. WLW was not in that lineup, but I think the 23 is a fantastic pour. It's really bright. It's very different than the Staggs we were going to have tonight. It's very bright on the front palate for me.
I agree with Raj. This lasts forever.
A lot of aromatics, a lot of
I think it has an even better viscosity too, at least which I'm surprised about because I don't normally get a good viscosity on stuff this high proof because the alcohol usually overwhelms it. But I could taste it in the beginning, like just a nice bit of oiliness, which is kind of nice.
Well, you can see it on your glass, but like on my glass, I'm like the legs are so slow.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like, and then it coats my mouth just like the glass. I'm like, it's all coated. And I'm like, man, I don't need, just like our previous conversation, Nando, I don't need a blue chew for something like this.
You're about to sink into that couch, my friend. I can see it coming.
Oh my gosh! Like this is probably so far my favorite antique pour.
This has a little bit of that old school cough medicine taste to it too, though, which is like I guess cherry, but it's got a little hint of that.
You think?
I get a little bit of it. It's not overpowering for sure. When I get bourbons like that, I usually don't tend to like them.
Yes, I will say very low, but I get more of the.
Oh yeah, I guess it's there at the very end.
Yeah,
I get more of the like the age statement of the oakiness more than anything. Wow.
So I have a sample of the 2020, which I'm also putting side by side. So I apologize, not everyone has this, but I just want to see the difference. These are very different whiskeys, though. It's interesting.
I feel like I'm supposed to like this, but I don't. I've tried it with chocolate. I tried it with the jerky. I tried it on its own. I don't like it.
Well, you can send it back if you'd like.
Welcome to
Well,
Canada.
no, honey, I'm gonna drink it. I'm just saying it doesn't. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fair
There's
enough.
a note in it that I can't pin down that I don't care for. And I can't pin down what it is. It
Yeah,
isn't
thank
really
you.
the cough syrup, but it is something sort of like that under it.
Ah,
Is it
okay.
is it a slight bitterness, Beth?
Amaretto. Yeah.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, I can't tell you why I don't like it. I just don't like it, which is
It's either like a star anise or a clove.
I would say there's a little bit of a star anise in this for sure.
I always think it's interesting because to me it drinks like it almost has some rye notes to it, and if I remember correctly, it's actually.
Oh yeah, very good call.
But I think it's the low rye mash bill.
It is.
I don't actually. Yes, but like
Mash
it
bill
drinks
number
like
one.
some of my favorite high rye bourbons.
Yep. Yeah, this is the low rye mash bill, which is mash bill number 1.
What is actually, I never even looked at or thought about the BT mash bill. So what does low rye mash bill in this case mean? What percentage are we talking?
They don't tell you exactly. They don't release the exact measurements. It's definitely below 20%.
He's got it online though, right? I'm sure.
I think it's below 10%.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's low.
It's definitely below 10. It's usually like a lot of the stuff that I drink in Nashville. It's usually 5% or lower, unless they stated that it's like,
Hey,
you know,
you guys come.
it's pure rye.
Yeah, so they say rise generally are between 10 to 12%. Oh, sorry. Mash bill number 1 is below 10%, likely below 10%. They've never released officially exactly what it is. So high rye mash bill, I always assume you're right around 20%. So they have the 3, mash bill number 1, mash bill number 2, which is high rye, low rye. Mash bill 1 is low rye, mash bill 2 is higher rye, and then the wheated mash bill. So
Right, but I mean that's relative, right? Because the high rye mash bill, like for Four Roses, is 35, right? And the low rye.
no, it's relative to each distillery. But normally when we're talking high rye, I always assume like 20% or above, or right around there. So 10 to 12% on a rye would be low. But I think they say it's higher rye, not necessarily high rye.
I get a lot of high rye notes on, and I love high rye bourbons, but it's not that, which I always think is interesting on some of these.
Yeah,
I agree. I do agree.
So Eagle Rare. So what falls into mash bill 1? It's gonna be your Eagle Rares, Staggs, EHTs, and Benchmark, and Buffalo Trace. Those are all mash bill number 1s. And mash bill number 2 is going to be your Elmer T. Lee's, ETLs, Rock Hill Farms, Hancock's, and Blanton's. I can't stand Hancock's, but I love Rock Hill Farms. So, and I don't care for ETL either, to be honest. I have one in the bar, just it sits there, and I've never touched it. So, but big Eagle Rare fan, EHT fan. So, Stagg falls into that lineup. But yeah, they've never really released what exactly their mash bill is for those, and maybe for good reason, you know. Should we move on to number 4 of the night? Or do we want to take some more time here?
Is it number 5?
4, 5, whatever. Same thing.
4, number 4. The other one didn't count. Number 4.
4 or 5. Well,
5, yes. 5.
Depends who got the first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's 4 for Jason.
4 for Jason, 5 for the rest of us. There you go.
Well, I apologize if you didn't like this, but I'm glad you got to try it anyways.
That was amazing.
These are always hard to come by. I think I have one other of these, and that's it. So, and so I have that one and the 2022 version, which was the low ABV. I decided to put in the 23 because I think people like that one in general more than they like the 22, which is the 2022, which is the low ABV version of GTS. I thought it was really good, but wanted to give you that classic GTS.
Yada yada yada. What's the next one?
Jesus.
Wow.
Damn.
All right, we're moving on to High Times.
High Time.
So High Time Wine Cellars. This is my local,
It is indeed.
my local liquor store, which if you've never been to High Time it is my Toys R Us and has been for a lot of years. I've been shopping here since before I was 21. The first whiskey I ever bought in a liquor store, I think, was here, which was a Eagle Rare I bought for someone. So let's get into it.
You do post about them on your story a lot.
Well, I could literally walk there from my house. I mean, I could walk there. It's 2 miles, but I could ride my bike real easily. I do quite often. So
The first time my sister came to California, I took her there. I thought she was going to have a fucking heart attack. She's like, it's Disneyland for alcohol. I went, yep, that's exactly what it is.
100%.
Yep.
They just mailed me a gift card for like $140 for some bottle I never picked up, apparently. No idea what it was.
Ooh, I like this one because it has a very high honey note on the nose.
Well, Tony apparently got in front of us, so he's already tried this. Tony, tell us what you like about it.
I can't even hear him.
This is the first one I've got a sweet note tonight. This one's got the sugar bomb compared to everything I've had so far. And I think for some of us that's bourbon's lane, right? Is the sweetness that we come back to.
Oh,
thank you.
This one's really got it.
Oh, hopefully, because that's what I would love. Let's see.
I got burnt sugar. Not like caramel, but like burnt sugar was like the top note.
I get a little burnt sugar. I get a little bit of honey, a little bit of like a burnt clove almost.
How about the crust to a creme brulee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I said burnt sugar, and that's what I was going to say. It's not like heavy caramel, but it's like when you torch sugar for a creme brulee.
Yeah,
that's what this is. Oh, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, I think this might hit her so far. The
I get
sweetness is
stone
back.
fruit like peaches.
Yeah.
I can see
Nando,
that.
hold me a bottle of this, will you?
Oh wow.
So they
It's
put
my
this,
turn
just
to
FYI, they
now?
put this one online at $200 and it sold out. So I got one bottle and I put it in this tasting.
That's really good, man. What do you think of with TTS?
What's interesting though is definitely if you compare it to the last one, it does not have any of the viscosity that the GTS has on the palate, right? Like it doesn't have the legs, you can't taste it on your mouth, which is not necessarily bad. It's definitely, you can notice the difference though.
Very true. Very true. It does not coat the mouth like the last one.
Yep. But that kind of makes more sense with kind of like burnt sugar, just pure kind of like sweetness aspect going on.
It's very clean, which I actually appreciate in bourbon personally. I mean, it's clean. It has, oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I know what I'm voting number one. That thing's freaking amazing.
I think I'm still with the GTS, but
yeah, I agree with the GTS, even though this is a very close second.
Here's the crazy thing. This is pretty much a 67% ABV, and this drink's nothing like this. If there's one bottle here that would get me in trouble, this is, well, we have so far, this is the one.
Hey, I'll buy another sample of this off of you.
There's about an ounce left, so I don't think that's happening.
Damn. dude. Oh wow.
I don't think you understand. I oversold this tasting. I do not have much of anything left. But which is a good thing. We get to share, although a few people couldn't make it tonight, but we get to share these things and we get to at least say we tried it. So
I definitely do get a tiny bit of toffee in there at the finish. Then also kind of like a burnt coffee note at the end.
I am getting to the point now where my mouth is starting to get numb from the alcohol. Feels that? But
Well,
it's
that's
starting.
why you gotta have.
Didn't that happen like 5 years ago, Benno? Really?
That's why you gotta have water on your tastings.
Dude, ice water right here. I'm just saying it's still,
ice water. You got to do room temperature, Benno. Come on.
Yeah, room temperature. It messes with your chi energy.
No. Come on, you're drinking cast strength whiskey. You need something to cool your palate down.
No, but no. Do you not know? Okay, I won't go. No, you never drink cold water. It messes with your chi energy. It's always room temperature.
I have a lot of Chinese friends. Trust me, including this one sitting next to me. I've heard it all before, and I raspberry. No.
Have you not done a tasting with Freddie at Buffalo Trace?
I have not.
Room temperature water.
Well, in fact, if you were on our Weller tasting, you have done a tasting with Freddie.
I wasn't.
Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
I wasn't, but I literally can't drink room temperature water. The water's at least got to be cool, if not ice cold.
Dude. Oh, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, I wonder, David, that's an interesting point. I wonder if because this one's sweeter, you go back, you pull out more of those sweet notes back on that. I think that's kind of what I was going for with the pairing that we did. Like, because there's sweet notes, that you get to pull a little bit more of that out of there. Tony, that's not helpful at all.
I know. You know my moniker. You know what I'm gonna do. I was on mute. You were saying.
It's all good.
That's really good, Dano. Great bottle, man.
I'm coming back to it, and I'm like, I'm getting a very high ethanol honey on it.
Which I get zero ethanol on that at all. Like
none
not
for me.
No, on the nose. On the nose.
Oh, maybe
I didn't get it on the nose.
No, I'm getting a very high, like honey, like.
Ooh. I think like candied honeycomb is a really good one for this, for sure.
Oh,
yeah, I was telling Will my palate, everything just was like rocket fuel. And this is my first sip where I didn't at least get mostly rocket fuel of the night. So.
And this is the highest ABV of all the Stagg,
which is crazy.
Yeses we've tried. So,
yeah, they've all been great, but my palate's been a little bit sensitive tonight, and that one hit the spot.
Yeah, so I think the next one's going to be really interesting for everyone because that's the only one I've had. Well, I've had the 23 GTS before. The next one we're going to do is Cannery's Pick, which is a local restaurant here. Shout out to Trevor for allowing me to buy one of these off of him. And that one is a big whiskey. It's not sweet in the same way this one is, but it's still really nice. It's got more of those dark chocolate notes for me, but I'm not going to influence anyone. We'll get into that and you figure it out.
I'm going to drink water before this.
Yeah, stop biasing the audience.
I apologize, but oh, Charlie, I'll send you the recording so you can do that one on your own later.
Cool.
The unmarked ones was an experiment we did before you jumped on.
Got it. Okay, cool.
What? The nose on this is amazing. Do you know I've never been to the cannery, like ever?
Oh, it's a horrible spot. Don't go.
Yeah, I know. You like live there.
I've also been going there since before I was 21, so oh, okay.
Damn. This has some weird stuff, and I can't.
Did everyone pour the GTS or sorry, the Cannery? Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, this one's
I
got
have not
some
poured it
dark
yet,
tea
so.
notes.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to figure out what the hell I was.
Yeah, it's like a dark tea, like a really
Thank
heavy
you.
duty.
Like an Earl Grey.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
Honestly.
thank you. Thank you for saying that because it was like hurting my brain because I couldn't figure out what it was.
Wow, it's very oily.
This one's
Yeah.
essentially 69%. It is
Of course.
Damn. Cool.
Okay, I have a weird question.
Yep.
Is it just the fact that I drink high proof stuff that none of this drinks over 90, like 45 for me? Or is it just the way it's made?
Yikes.
Or is
Um,
am I just too jaded to go?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll say that for sure.
I think you need to go back to an actual
Okay, thank
45
you.
and see how that hits.
You said 90 proof? Yikes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this would be
shit.
You need like some water tastings in between.
She's like, this tastes just like Jim Beam White Label.
I will
can't
say
tell
the
difference.
Cannery tastes like a high ABV. Like you're drinking high ABV with Cannery. Unlike that's why I say it's a good contrast with the last one we did with High Time because that High Time's one I can drink a lot.
You think this is high? No, I'm not kidding. That's what I'm saying. If somebody asked me, I'd go, "Oh, it's probably 45."
Oh no! Even
I'm getting nothing off of this high.
I haven't even tasted it yet, and just on the nose, I'm like, the ethanol on the nose is like, whoo.
Jason
That
puts
being said,
a
I think it's a
140
really good
proof
whiskey.
White Dog in his coffee.
I'm just jaded then. Okay.
I don't think I would I would guess this is higher proof. I don't think I would guess this is 69%. So
yeah.
I'm gonna say this one tastes really good. Like I just Yep.
It's more savory than the last one was sweet.
Yeah. So that's where I think this one has that like more dark chocolate coffee-ish note to me a little bit. Very different from the High Times one for sure.
Pretty cool though. This one's pretty good.
You know what's crazy is this one. Yes, I totally agree with you, Nando. The dark chocolate. This one kind of reminds me as if it was finished in like kind of like a port, like it reminds me of like a wine finish.
Jason, you don't get to have your dog on, and I don't get to bring my dog. So,
Mr. T,
dude, I got six of them, Nando.
6 of them.
I've only got one.
Jeez.
I'm
Yeah,
like
good
hopping
luck.
on here, but this one is like the most reminiscent of the GTS to me of the ones that we've tried. I mean, it's still yeah.
I think this one's absolutely a classic Stagg for me. This one for sure.
It doesn't have the viscosity of the Stagg, but just the flavor when it hits your palate, it just kind of explodes.
The GTS.
Which is what I always look for out of a Stagg, like junior or senior. Like it's always been just a flavor bomb whiskey to me.
The nose gets weird sometimes.
The nose is definitely weird.
Yeah, it's got some weirdness, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like it, but talk
Earl
about
Grey.
like a rye funk.
No, it's kind of like an Earl Grey chai weird thing.
Something's going on there.
Going on. The Earl Grey, whoever said Earl Grey, that was you, right? You said the Earl Grey? No. Whoever said that.
Sandra, if you point, nobody knows who you're pointing at. So
I know. I'm trying to figure. No, I
you gotta
thought he
say
was
names
on it.
in the bottom left.
He was on.
Don't say the bald kid either, because Will's here too.
Or description, something. If you say black guy, we'll know you mean Bino.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
Just kidding.
If you
Bino.
say white guy, we'll know you mean Will.
Just casually racist over here. I like it.
Hey,
I say that about you? Come on.
why don't everybody put your glass up in front of your camera so we can get a good look at everyone's glass? Let's do a little cheers to Nando for his birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Good one.
Birthday.
Cheers.
Thank you, Nando. Cheers to you. Do a little Chris
Appreciate
style. Where's Chris?
all of you.
Everyone cheers your camera.
Chris will get mad. You guys making fun of me?
Come on, cheers. We're cheering. There we go.
Appreciate it.
Where is the
Happy
cannery?
birthday, buddy.
Yeah, happy birthday. Where is the cannery?
Newport.
Mm.
Beautiful. Food's amazing.
Good food too, yeah.
They're more of a bourbon bar these days. They used to have a really good Scotch selection. I've drank through most of that because they try and get rid of it, but
Is that on the? Is that on Balboa or is that where the fuck is it?
yeah, it's on Lido.
Oh, it's on Lido. Oh, okay.
Their prices aren't obscene either. I mean, it's restaurant pricing, but relative. Like you can get
this Stagg Junior, they sell their pick. They sell for $16.
there you go.
For a pour that, FYI, if you've never been to Stagg, they pour like 2 ounces at a time, 2.5 ounces at a time. So,
Isn't that where you tried to fight Tito Ortiz?
no, that was a very long time ago.
Every Nando story starts off with, "Isn't that where you fought?"
No, not anymore. That was a long
not anymore.
time
No,
ago.
No. He's an old man.
Yeah, I'm too old.
that's true.
Yeah. He's changed.
I mean, I heard he goes to Rolling Stones concerts, all kinds of weird shit like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. with vagrants, absolutely.
Hey,
Wait, I'm sorry.
she's on the call. Take it easy.
Wait, could you make what was the Rolling
Hey, Andy.
Stones concert reference?
Oh, we Andy and Nando and I and my wife, we went to Rolling Stones.
What year?
76.
Yeah.
76.
Oh, shut the fuck up. No, you
Yeah,
didn't.
shut up.
Yeah, he wasn't even born.
It was
He
probably
wasn't,
90
he
years
wasn't
old.
there for their first 15 concerts in LA.
Okay. I'm old.
Me too?
I went in 80.
Oh, I don't think they'd allow me in the 80s.
You weren't even born yet, right? I can't do math. Were you even born?
85.
I hate you.
But you'll think
Really? Oh my, and wait, you were born in 85?
yeah, because it's
Oh
2020.
dear God, I
I'm
was
40,
on my
so yes.
oh my dear God, I was on my second marriage. Okay, God, I hate you. Okay.
Child bride.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, I was born in 80, so Nando just shut out in 85.
God damn, Jason, you look 67 goddamn years old. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
You gotta
God.
stop drinking, brother.
Oh my
It's the Rip
goodness.
Van Winkle beard, to be fair.
It's because you moved out of California. You don't get those good that good feng shui anymore.
No. Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. When were you born? Okay. I've either had too much to
Okay.
drink or I can't do math. But
Well,
what?
Hold on. Before I am going to say goodbye to everyone on the recording. So cheers if you're watching
please.
on YouTube. So we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.